Welcome to the South Got Something to Say podcast, where we break down the truth, expose the misinformation, and make sure our people stay informed. And tonight we're diving into something that every Black American needs to pay attention to, and that's Project 2025. And if you haven't heard about it yet, don't worry. That's what the South Got Something to Say podcast for. That's exactly why we having this conversation. But trust me, this is one of the most dangerous policy agendas we've seen in decades. So what is Project 2025? Stay tuned, and we'll let you know. We finna get real deep into Project 2025. So if y'all would leave a comment, if you understand what Project 2025 is, y'all leave a comment. But yes, we got Project 2025 today. That's the discussion. Like I said, we lost our interview guest today. He will be on. We just don't know when, but we'll reschedule that. But the show must go on because the information got to get out there. Yes. South Got Something to Say podcast is live. Let's go. Yes. So if you haven't heard about it yet, don't worry. That's exactly why we having this conversation. What is Project 2025? Project 2025 is a far-right conservative blueprint created by the Heritage Foundation, a powerful think tank with deep ties to Republican leadership. Y'all know, as the campaign went on, when we were trying to determine who our next president, I introduced right here on the South Got Something to Say podcast, I introduced this thing called Project 2025. I introduced it because I knew, after reading a snippet of it, I knew that this was one of the most dangerous policies I ever seen, with hopes that, first of all, we'll never vote to put this thing in place, and second of all, nobody will be crazy enough to put it in place. But yet, we are here. So now, we got to do everything in our power, everything in our earthly power to combat this thing called Project 2025. And the first way you combat it is understand exactly what it is and what they are trying to do, and why us as Black Americans should be paying attention. See, I can easily get up on here in the South Got Something to Say podcast and talk about a bunch of junk, talk about the Drake, Kendrick Lamar beef, talk about the Grammys, talk about sports, about the Super Bowl, but all of that, everything I just mentioned is nothing but a distraction. Nothing but a distraction. All of this junk coming up and down your timeline ain't nothing but a distraction. Yeah, I love football more than the next man, but I also love my people, and y'all don't understand what we're going through. We over here on the South Got Something to Say podcast tried to warn you that this was coming, but y'all sit up here and listen to these imposters, what we talked about on the last week episode. If you ain't checked out the last week episode, not only is it on Facebook, I uploaded it to YouTube on the South Got Something to Say podcast YouTube channel. Y'all go check it out. But how these people are telling you not to vote. That's what this show was initially supposed to be about. So back to what is Project 2025. And that's where we at right now. Project 2025. And now y'all gonna catch me reading. Y'all gonna catch me researching on the spot. One thing I will not do is sit up here and give out misinformation. I have done thorough research on everything I'm gonna tell you. And one thing I do when I do this research, I try to see how it affects us, Black people, as a community. And I'm telling you, this is one of the most dangerous policy agendas ever created in life. And I'm gonna only give you 4 things today. So we got a lot more to go. But I'm only giving you 4 things out of my research that I see that would just devastate the black community right now. And a lot of this thing has been done right now with a stroke of a pen. A lot of it is being done right now with a stroke of a pen. What a show we got for y'all today. So what is Project 2025? Project 2025 is a far-right conservative blueprint created by the Heritage Foundation, a powerful think tank with ties to Republican leadership. This isn't just a campaign promise. This is an organized plan to completely reshape the U.S. government under the presidency of Donald Trump. They are planning to reshape the government. When you hear "Make America Great Again," that MAGA, "Make America Great Again," what they're saying is when you had to drink from separate water fountains, that is when America was great. When you was a slave, that is when America was great. When you had no voting rights, that is when America was great. And they said, we want to go back to those times. Let me be clear. This isn't just speculation. I'm not just making this up. All you have to do is turn on the TV and watch what Orange Man is doing. Watch what Donald Trump is doing. They have put it in writing. It's a 920-page plan detailing exactly to the T what they're gonna do. We're gonna talk about 4 of them today, but it's a 920-page plan. So if anybody telling you not to vote, they don't care nothing about you. Things they want to do, they want to dismantle the federal agency. They already doing it with a stroke of a pen. They want to dismantle, or they want to roll back DEI program. We're going to get into that deep today. We're going to get into deep why it's important they roll back them DEI programs. And if you don't know what DEI means, stay tuned, learn, get your children in here. Get your kids and sit them down and understand the attack. Why they out here doing this stupid mess and doing dumb stuff, they are under attack. Our children are under attack. Children that look just like me. But see, God threw a little extra scoop of melanin in me. I ain't scared to talk for my people. He gave me a little extra scoop. Y'all know when he was getting out that melanin, he dumped a little more in me. They want to gut social program, welfare, Medicaid, Medicare, food stamps, SNAP. They want to gut that. And they want to increase police surveillance. And you know, us and police is all in water. Do we need them? Yes. But y'all know how I get when we get around police. And another thing they want to do, they want to rewrite history. They want to push a whitewash conservative curriculum by erasing the black history. And all of that is what we're going to get into on this episode. We're going to get in detail on these things, and y'all really need to tell somebody, tell a friend that on Thursday at 8 o'clock, man, we getting a lesson. We getting told, because the only way we can fight this thing, the only way we can combat this thing, the only way that we can stop this thing is to be informed and know what we need to do with our own itty bitties. While you watching the Grammys and watching the Super Bowl and watching what 50 Cent and Big Meech got going on, it ain't nothing but a distraction. Them folks already rich. We're trying to get our babies good jobs. This is not just about politics. This isn't just about politics. This is about power. They want the power. They want the power. It's about controlling the government in a way that benefits the rich, the wealthy, and protects, all right, I gotta say it, protect white supremacy. I got to say it. They want to roll back every little progress we made, and we ain't made much, because they want to protect white supremacy. We're going to do a whole episode on white supremacy, because a lot of y'all don't even know what it means, or you think you know what it means, and you really don't. If you look at history, every time black gain progress, the little progress we make, and I'm going to give you some examples. I'm going to give you some history lessons in here today. Every time we make a little progress, there's a coordinated effort to take it back. Every time we take 2 steps forward, it's a coordinated effort for us to take 4 steps back. And I just can't leave it without telling y'all that we're under attack in the black community. We're under attack. And if we don't understand what they're doing, how can we fight what they're doing? See, right after slavery, it was a reconstruction period from 1865 when slavery ended to 1877. And we started, as black people, we started building wealth. We started entering politics, creating our own communities. But what happened? They started implementing them Jim Crow laws and violent white supremacist attacks. And that destroyed that progress. See, every little progress we make, they gonna take a few steps to bring it back. And then we got into the 1950s and the 60s with the civil rights movement. And we started winning legal victories like the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which stemmed from the beating that they took right across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. But what they started doing, that's when they started incarceration, gutted welfare programs, and Ronald Reagan standing up there and launching a war on drugs in an effort to criminalize blacks. Oh, we got a big step forward when we elected our first president, our first black president, Barack Obama. But that is exactly what led us to what we have today. When Barack Obama took that oath of office, the white supremacists and everybody who could, they made sure that they came in with policies that targeted black voters. They'll start to suppress our vote again. They have already gutted their Voting Rights Act of 1965. We're going to talk about that. And they start packing the Supreme Court with conservative judges. Trump just packed, last term he had, he put 3 in there. He got a whole nother 4 years and it looked like he gonna get 2 more, because Clarence Thomas on his last leg. But now we facing the biggest rollback ever with this Project 2025. We facing the biggest rollback ever. And we got 4 things. 4. That we're going to talk about today. We're going to get into the details of Project 2025. We're going to tell you exactly what it means and show you that this is not just another political talking point. This is a plan with real consequences for Black America. And let's get into it. The 4 biggest threats hidden inside Project 2025. The 4 biggest threats hidden inside Project 2025. Number 1, a federal power shift, a dangerous grab for control. See, one of the first things Project 2025 want to do is give Donald Trump unchecked powers over all federal agencies. Anything federal they want to give Donald Trump, they are already giving Donald Trump unchecked powers. Do y'all know what that means? That means that nobody can tell this man what to do. That is fascism. That's a dictatorship. They are trying to get more of a dictatorship. We thrive in a democracy. Civil rights protection, social program, any policy that help Black communities could be erased with a stroke of a pen. Have y'all not seen how many executive orders this man signed since January the 20th? How many of these programs he has already rolled back with a stroke of a pen? He got a weak Senate and a weak Congress, and they are in control. MAGA is running the country. So when y'all didn't go vote for Kamala Harris, you also didn't vote for the congressman or woman that were running in that district. You also ain't vote for the senator. When you sat at home listening to Claude Anderson and not voting, now this man got control of the executive office and the legislative branch, and he has packed the judicial branch. Man, what are we talking about here? He has packed the judicial branch. Y'all, that is a problem. That is what you call control. The new North Korea. That is what you call control. Right now, agencies like the Department of Justice, the Environmental Protection Agency, and Lord knows our itty bitties, the Department of Education, he gutting them. He's planning to dismantle the Department of Education, what teaches our itty bitties. The Department of Justice, the Environmental Protection Agency, the FBI, the FAA. We done had 3 plane crashes since he took office because he fired everybody in the FAA. Getting on no plane. I'll walk to California before I get on a plane right now. I'll just stay at home. He has gutted the FAA. I walk to California. Or I just stay at home. Until somebody gets some handles on this thing. Project 2025 will find thousands of career officials and replace them with hand-picked loyalists who were pushing the extreme conservative agenda. Have y'all been following the news? Everybody's getting fired. They offering buyouts. They offering payouts. They want everybody who would tell this man no gone. He want only loyal people. He fired 12 inspector generals 3 days after he took off. Y'all know what the inspector general do, right? If y'all don't, that's why I'm here. The inspector general is the watchdog. They the one that they usually independent. They don't work for a Republican or a Democrat. They don't work for the president. They the ones that can go in and say, hey, here goes some waste. Here goes some fraud. Here goes some crime. He don't want nobody to tell him what he can and can't do. He want loyal people that would be yes men or yes women. Go look at his cabinet. You got a Department of Defense, and I was a military soldier, and I got some military soldiers in the chat. I got some military soldiers I talk to every day. We got a Department of Defense secretary that never led troops, never commanded a company, never commanded a battalion, never, ever, but he is over the Department of Defense. He was a TV show host. Do I need to say anymore? No check, no balances, no oversight. Can I say that again? No check, no balances, no oversight. I don't want nothing but yes men around me. That's how you create dictatorships. Anybody that would not be loyal to me, I want them gone. That's why you seeing all of these people get fired. The president, Donald Trump, has near total control over every department that impact Black America. Every department that impact Black Americans, Donald Trump is total control. They are going to, right now they have temporarily paused for the Department of Defense, Black History Month. They have temporarily paused Juneteenth. All of these things, they want to erase you from history. So you just think what that means for voting rights, or police accountability, or fair housing. All of these can be weakened or eliminated overnight with a stroke of a pen. Now, thank God for the federal judges. They're doing all they can by issuing all these temporary restraining orders. But man, we're in a bad place right now. We're in a bad place that we got to come up out of this. And the only way we do it is we understand exactly what we're facing. And we can't do that when we are so distracted by junk that don't make no sense. Like the second thing, we talked about number one was a power grab. The second thing is civil rights rollbacks, what we talked about earlier. They want to dismantle DEI, they want affirmative action gone, and they want voting rights gone. They want to suppress our votes. Project 2025 has a clear mission: erase policies that promote racial equality. Anything to do with us being equal to them, we need it gone. Trump is starting to use this word, this phrase, reverse discrimination, to roll back DEI. DEI, for the ones who don't know, DEI is diversity, equity, and inclusion. All of those programs will be shut down across federal government and universities. These program was created to level the playing field. I got a master's in this, you got a master's in this. Why we just looking at you? Oh, I got a master's in this, and you the cousin of somebody you know, and so you get the job. DEI was created to make sure that we at least get a look. When we apply for college, when we apply for jobs, when we trying to get a job in the federal government, when we doing trying to get rank in the military, everything, we just can't look at who be friend who or who kin to who. The good old boy system is what they called it where I'm from. The good old boy system. That is why DEI was created. But them programs would be gone. He already doing that. When the first plane crashed in Washington D.C., the one that landed in the Potomac River, whatever that river name, the Potomac River, the first thing the president said was the reason that plane crashed because of a DEI program. Don't know if the pilot was black, don't know if the traffic controller was black, don't know if the stewardess on the plane was black. All we know, all women, all LGBTQ, he ain't know none of that. But it's a DEI program that caused that crash. You see what I'm saying? Anything they can do to roll back DEI, they're doing it. So what does that mean? When our kids apply to Harvard, they're not getting a fair shake. When our kids apply to Alabama, we going back to them days where Governor Wallace stood in the door. That's what we heading to if we don't fix this thing. See, y'all think that it's just about this and that, reparations, or black folk need this, black folk need that. Simple things is what we're losing at this point. The little progress we made is what's being rolled back at this point. Let's talk about it. Affirmative action is gone. Affirmative action is gone. As of today, is no such thing as affirmative action. The Supreme Court already took a major step, a Trump-packed Supreme Court already took a major step in that direction. And Project 2025 is going to expand it further, making it harder for black students to get into top universities. We just spoke on that. Making it harder for black students to get into top universities. Voting rights are on the chopping block. They're cutting them. They're gutting Voting Rights Act right now. The Voting Rights Act has already been weakened. The one that the people that right across town right here where I'm at, not 2 miles from where I'm at, the folks that got beat on that bridge and they marched for their rights to vote. That act is already weakened. Under the Project 2025, it will become more restrictive. Voting laws are already tough enough, and they finna restrict them more. And it gonna make it hard for black and brown people like me and you to cast the ballot. That's the goal. Voter suppression is the goal in Project 2025. Next level voter suppression is what you finna get in Project 2025. All right, so we talked about the power grab. We talked about the civil rights rollback. We talked about dismantling DEI. We talked about affirmative action. We talked about the suppressing the vote. Now, number 3, go look it up. Go read Project 2025. We'll talk about it at the end. Mass surveillance and policing. Expanding the criminalization of Black Americans. Can we afford to expand something that is already too big? This is the scariest part of Project 2025. This is the scariest part of Project 2025. Y'all remember in New York when they had that stop and frisk? If you don't, man, educate yourself. They are looking to expand stop and frisk. They are looking to expand racial profiling. They are looking to expand police militarization. They are looking to expand those things. Stop and frisk is you can be walking, and if a police feel like you are suspicious, they can tell you to stop and pat you down, leading to more bad encounter with police, more arrests, and more Black people locked up. Expect more stop and frisk with Project 2025. Expect more racial profiling and expect more police militarization. They also plan to expand federal surveillance on domestic threats, which mean activists, protest movement, and Black organizations. Those will be targeted. Y'all remember COINTELPRO? If you don't, stay tuned. I got you. Stay tuned. I got you. If you don't understand COINTELPRO, you need to stay tuned because we are heading into COINTELPRO 2.0. He have offered qualified immunity for police officers. So that means that police will be further protected, as protected as they are. He is offering qualified prosecutorial immunity, making it impossible or nearly impossible to hold police accountable for brutality or murder in a lot of cases. Can we afford any more Black people shot down in the street by police? Can we afford more Black people beaten and mistreated and abused by the police? Can we afford that? Why people telling you not to vote? Can we afford that? Would you rather reparations or your Black son come home? Anybody scared to answer that question? Would you rather reparations or the stuff that the Black imposters talking about, or would you rather your son come home? Because I'm going to take my baby boy any day coming home over any dollar you can give me. We are in COINTELPRO 2.0. And for y'all don't know what COINTELPRO, that's when the FBI program in the 60s and 70s had spied on, infiltrated, and dismantled Black movements. Like the civil rights movement, they had a file on Malcolm X. They had a file on Martin Luther King. They had a file on the Black Panther Party. They had a file on Fred Hampton. They kept a file, a secret file, wiretap, Black informants, all people surrounding them, they infiltrated them. Movement like the Black Lives Movement would be part of the COINTELPRO 2.0. I'm just using that one for example. Because I don't even know where the Black Lives Matter movement went. I don't know where they went. Got the money and ran, I guess. Somebody got to be honest. Where the Black Lives Matter movement at? Got the money and ran. I got to be honest. We'll talk about that another day. It will be a show, though. But COINTEL 2.0 is going to be in effect when they start expanding federal surveillance on domestic threats, protest movements. A lot of they want what y'all did when George Floyd got killed, when George Floyd got murdered in the middle of the street on live TV. What y'all did by going out there and marching these streets, they want the military to come in and move you now. They want the military to, you don't got no First Amendment right. You gonna shut up and sit down. That part of their control. Y'all better listen to me when I talk. I'm not saying this stuff because I want to. I'm telling you what I'm reading. And I'm gonna tell you how to find out the same information I'm finding out. I'm telling you the same information that I found out by just going to do a little reading. I'm gonna tell you where to go get it from. They don't want us organizing. They don't want us protesting. They don't want us speaking out. They want you to know that they are in control. The final one, number 4. They are finna attack our public education. I want y'all to hear me. And I want y'all to hear me clearly. They are about to attack our public education. Black history, they already dismantling that. School privatization, they already segregating our schools. And the number one thing Trump planned to do with a stroke of a pen within the next day or two is dismantle the Department of Education. Can y'all believe that? They want to control what our itty bitties learn. They want to erase Black history from schools by eliminating programs that teach about slavery, systemic racism, and civil rights. None of that gonna be taught in public schools. Do y'all hear me? If Project 2025 is fully implemented, none of that will be taught in public school. And I see a lot of people on Facebook and on Instagram and on Twitter, you can't erase our history, you can't take my history, Black history. Listen, they can't take it out your heart, but they can take it out your schools. And that's just as bad. They're just as bad where our itty bitties can't learn about our history. We gotta learn the whitewash conservative history that they want us to learn. And as an educator, I feel like that's a disgrace. And we sitting back here with people who telling people not to vote because they want some reparations. Book bans will increase. They already used the transgender and the LGBT community. They tell you a bunch of lies. And see, y'all, if you don't, they tell you a bunch of lies. They tell you lies that they know that will get near and dear. That if you can send your child to school, or you can send your second grader to school, a boy, and they come home a girl. That's impossible. If you ain't heard Trump say that, Google it. That you can send your child to school a boy and he come back a girl. That's how he distract us. Why he go in there and snatch all the books that our children need to read. They try to snatch those books out of the schools. Making it hard to access literature that tells the real story of about Black America. They don't want that literature in school. They want you to understand, if you don't know your history, you can't follow your history. You can't become Black history yourself. That's the goal, for our children to be whitewashed down. That's how they tried to do it back in slavery. You got whipped if you was caught teaching somebody how to read. You got lashes, slashes, whatever they call them. You got with the hit with the whip for teaching them how to read. They don't want you educated, especially about your history. Let's talk about it. They are pushing school privatization, which means fewer resources for public school, the whole reason of dismantling the Department of Education. Do you know in a county, in a county like Dallas County, we're using Dallas County, in schools in Alabama, in schools in Mississippi, how much these schools are dependent on federal funding? How much federal funding means, what type of education these kids get. So when you start talking about school privatization, they want you to pay for the resources that your children get. That is dismantling football, basketball, all of these athletes that's making money. You ain't gonna have no platform to showcase your talent on. You can't learn to read, you won't have the technology that some of these private schools will have. Fewer resources for public schools in Black communities while funneling that money that they're sending. They're already doing it now. Look at the School Choice Act. Y'all, I'm telling you stuff I know. That if your child decide that they want to go to a private school, the money that would normally go to that public school goes to that private school. That's why Republicans are so big on the School Choice Act. You Choose Act. So they can funnel the money that the federal government pays for your child to go to school and funnel it into these private schools and religious institutions, these Christian schools, which I don't have a problem with the Christian schools. What I'm telling you is that's what the plan for all of, and some of us who can't afford it, or some of us that don't qualify, or some of us that they done roll back these civil rights protection won't get a fair shake. And we in these low-funded public schools learning what they want to teach us because they erasing our history out of the public school. Do anybody track what I'm saying? If they succeed, our children, our itty bitties will grow up in a system that whitewashes history, limit opportunities, and keep them uninformed about very policies designed to keep them oppressed. That's the goal. That's the goal. I'm going to say that one more time. If they succeed with Project 2025, our children will grow up in a system that whitewashes history, limits opportunities, and keep them uninformed about the very policies designed to keep them oppressed. That's number 4, y'all. Is an attack on the public education. So why does this matter? As we get ready to wrap this thing up, why does this matter? When you connect the dots with Project 2025, they are literally trying to erase the small amount of progress we've made. They want the little. We got a long way to go. Systemic racism is the biggest thing we're facing. And a lot of us don't even know what systemic racism is. A lot of us don't know what white supremacy is. And we're going to have some shows that break all that down. Right here on the South Got Something to Say podcast. I guarantee you we going to talk about it. Because that's all we talking about right now. Because our itty bitties, and y'all know when we started the South Got Something to Say podcast, it was all about our itty bitties. And this is the biggest attack on our itty bitties. Project 2025 is about erasing our progress and suppressing our power and maintaining white conservative control. That is the whole point of Project 2025. And it's being implemented today. Every day you wake up a new portion. We got at least 20 to 25 things that was top on their list. Their whole cabinet picks are authors of, every cabinet pick is an author of Project 2025. The 920-page report I told you about, his cabinet wrote it. Google it. They want the black votes suppressed. They want black voices silenced. They want black communities over police, and they want black education erased. Somebody taking notes, write this down. They want black votes suppressed. They want black voices silenced. They want black communities over police, and they want black education erased. If we don't take this serious, we can wake up in 2025 with fewer rights than 1965. If we don't take this serious, if we right here listening to folk telling us not to exercise, let me ask everybody a question. And I want y'all to ponder on this question as we get ready to transition. If voting wasn't so important, why did our ancestors fight so hard to secure that right? If voting wasn't important, why did our ancestors fight so hard to secure that right? That's something to think about. For all of the people said, let's not vote. Let's not vote till we get policies strictly for black people. What? What politician can come out and say, hey, I'm only doing this for black people? No, we want it equal. Just give me the same chances you give them. I don't need that specific. See, that's the problem. Just give me a chance, a fair chance. But y'all saying that y'all want things for only black people, you gave them the opportunity to implement Project 2025. But here's the good news. You know I ain't gonna leave y'all with that no good news. We still have time to stop it. 2026 is coming. We need to gain the House and the Senate back. Despite what Claude Anderson and his imposters say, and y'all know I love me some Claude Anderson now. I hate to have to come at him so hard, but I just do not feel that it was fair for him to sit up and tell with a voice as big as his and some of the great knowledge and the scholar that he is to tell black people not to vote. I just don't feel it fair. I really don't feel it fair. But the good news is we still got time to stop it. We still got time to stop it. So family, I've got something to say, podcast family. Now that we've broken down what's at stake with Project 2025, let's talk about what we can do in our last few minutes to fight back. Because at this point, the reason I'm using this platform, and I'm gonna get to the comments, the reason I'm using this platform, because it is not time to sit on the sideline and be idle. Let's get to some of the comments. Private school will get to choose who they accept and not accept. A $10,000 school voucher doesn't help a parent who already can't afford a $20,000 a year private school. The school voucher gives a discount to the rich parent who is already paying $20 a year for private school. The rich stay rich. We knew what was going to happen. They're going to find a way to monetize this thing where blacks can't afford it, and they're going to dumb the public school education down so much and snatch all the resources from it by dismantling the Department of Education that you get no federal funding from the federal government, and then our kids are coming with nothing education while they are getting the funding that would normally be given to public schools in these private schools teaching their children. That is just the truth. Next comment. Instead of holding our vote, we need to hold our dollars. Economic withdrawal. If all black people can stay out of Target for one day, Target will lose $29.9 million in sales. If the boycott for Target lasts 7 days, Target will lose $209.9 million. If the boycott lasts for 30 days, the losses for Target can reach $897 million. And the sad part about it, as true as the true as he telling, and we're going to have an economic episode coming up very soon. Very soon. As much truth as he telling, Guess who we gonna hurt a lot if we do that? We're gonna have a conversation about it. But that is great information. That is great information. We give 98% of our wealth, and I got this straight from Dr. Claude Anderson. We give 98% of our wealth back to the white folks. That leaves us a 2%. 2%. So they get 100% of theirs and 98% of ours. I got that straight from Dr. Claude Anderson's book. That shows you that I got a lot of respect for Dr. Claude Anderson. But I can't respect you telling our people not to vote. I cannot do it. But that was great information. We're going to have an economic, hey, if you got these numbers like that, I need you to pop up on the panel. We have our economic, bruh. I need you to pop up. 3 ways. First of all, we have to stay informed. Thank y'all that y'all had the South Got Something to Say podcast. I need y'all to push the South Got Something to Say podcast even more. I need y'all to push the South Got Something to Say podcast even more, because this is how we stay informed. I'm out here every night, every evening, riding home from work, always, sometime, somehow, some way, I'm researching. This is all the content that I take in. This is it. This is that serious. You can't fight what you don't understand. And Project 2025 is not a conspiracy theorist. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's something that we have to sit up and fight. See, a lot of people say, y'all letting them fearmonger you. No, we're not scared, but we're not dumb, and we're not going to sit back and let them run amok on us either. It's a real policy, a real blueprint with clear goals. And if you want to read up for yourself, I'm going to tell you where to go find it at. Go to the Heritage Foundation Project 2025 website. That's simple as putting it in Google. Heritage Foundation Project 2025 is all there. That's where I go do all my research about Project 2025. You can find platform. Come to the South Got Something to Say podcast. I'm going to be giving out, this all I'm talking about. So if you don't like this type of rhetoric, this ain't the show for you, because we have to keep our people informed. Because I don't want everybody popping up, getting on Facebook one day, talking about why my kid can't have no Chromebook, and why they taking away the football team from Southside. Why they do? I'm telling you, if we don't stand up and do something now, we don't want to hear you crying. I seen a Cuban man, a Cuban man. All he did was campaign for Trump. Trump for 2024. Trump. And the first thing Trump did was deport him. I don't feel sorry for him. Man told you what he was going to do. He told you what he gonna do. I ain't gonna feel sorry for you when these folks telling you what they gonna do, and you still sit right letting the folks talk about some doggone reparations or black, Democrats, they did that for black. I ain't gonna feel sorry for you. That's why I want y'all to come here and get the information. And follow some civil rights organizations like the NAACP, the ACLU, the Brennan Center for Justice, and just track in real time. Number 2, know your power. The whole reason the first episode of the season was about voting, because we as blacks got to understand and know our power. Vote and get politically engaged. I know a lot of people are frustrated with the political system. I am too. I get it. But here's one thing, not voting, let me say this clearly, not voting only helps the people trying to take away our rights. Do y'all hear me? Not voting only helps the people that trying to take away our rights. When you say don't vote unless they give you reparations, and you know by not voting, you're going to hurt the Democratic Party, that in my mind, you assume that Trump was going to give you reparations. And if you did that, I know you ain't thinking with it. I know all your elevator don't go all the way up, and you thought Trump was going to give you some reparation. Every time they push these policies like Project 2025, it's because they know we have the number to stop them. And every time they started infiltrating our black media, and telling us and throwing little things out there, and every time you hear about the transgender community or the LGBT community, or your boy gonna come home a girl, and all of that, there's a mass distraction to keep you from that voting booth. Do you hear me? Every time they tell you Kamala Harris locked up a bunch of black folks, and ain't nobody seen the black folk that she locked up. when she wrote a whole book. We're going to talk about that too. She wrote a whole book on how black folks don't need to get locked up and how not to get locked up. But we use that narrative to make sure that blacks didn't go vote for her so we can implement Project 2025. Y'all know I ain't lying, but we'll talk about it. We can't afford to let frustration turn into action. We have to show up, stay engaged, and vote like our lives depend on it. Y'all, this is time to vote. This is time to vote. I don't care what nobody tell you. I don't care who tell you. Read, research, and understand for yourself. This is not the time to sit and talk about vote no couch. Our folks ain't fight so hard for the right to vote without knowing the power it had. And the final one, we got to spread the word. Just what I'm doing now, we can start parking. Hey, I want panels. I want people in the comment section coming on here. I'm gonna start putting the StreamYard link in the comment section. Y'all literally need to come in and we need to have conversations about this. Spread the word. One of our biggest weapons against Project 2025 is the conversation. The more people informed, the more people will know, and the more people know what to expect. Talk to your family, talk to your friends, talk to your coworkers. A lot of people don't know the plan, but it's up to us to sign along. Hey, what you can do, share this episode. Share it. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to chop it up. I'm going to put it on YouTube in a couple days, but it's on Facebook right now. Everybody hit the share button. Tell everybody to hit the share button. Like the information so Facebook can push it to more people. We got to start engaging in our own community. If I would sit up here talking about a bunch of junk or who go with who or who murdered who or who shot who or who beefing, we'll have 1,000 people up in here. Y'all, this is important for our itty bitty future. Stay informed, stay engaged, and stay in the fight. Why are we giving them Project 2025? Yes. South Got Something to Say podcast. What a show we had today. A lot of information, man. I know it may seem like you drinking from the water hole, but we got to get the information out there to our people. We got to get this out there to our individuals. We got to get this out there to our educators. We got to get this out there to our churches. We got to get the information out there. We are not giving them Project 2025. We gonna fight. We gonna fight. We not giving them Project 2025. Yes. What a show. Boy, we had 3 minutes overtime today. This is real big, man. We doing it big. Who ready? Let's go. Yes. We ain't stopping right here. Next week, we got another episode for you. We are not let up off their neck, period. South Got Something to Say podcast is live. South Got Something to Say podcast is live. What a show. Y'all already know the motto. Each one, teach one, love or be loved. The South Got Something to Say podcast. See you next Thursday, 8 o'clock. Let's get it. Let's go to the moon.